The Walt Disney Company is really struggling when it comes to its audience. As we speak, The Lion King's Mufasa trailer, well, it's getting tons and tons of dislikes. And now Disney is trying to do a soft reset, something that we have told you all about already. But what does that soft reset look like? Well, folks, what if we told you that it means that Disney is looking for salvation with their audience from Jesus? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are so happy to have you here as we continue our journey explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve, doing it by telling the truth and by not taking sides too harshly. No, we rather would be on the right side of reality. Joining us is Force of Light, Michelle. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And folks, if you enjoy content like this, consider clicking the like button. When we get into this video, there's a very interesting thing that's happening here. It's not just that Disney is going to put Jesus on their Disney Plus app, or that they have already. It's that it may be, it could be, shall it be, that Bluey and The Chosen become the top shows on Disney. And wouldn't that be just an interesting situation? Let's dive into the news right here. This is out of Deseret News. It is Jenkins, The Chosen is coming to Disney Plus, and it's already there, folks. This came out 2 days ago. It's already on. We'll explain it in just a moment. It says the historical drama about the life of Jesus, known as The Chosen, is coming to Disney Plus, according to Dallas Jenkins. On Friday evening, Jenkins reposted a story from Disney news source Inside the Magic, Bastions of Truth that they are not, and said it was not exactly a partnership. This is Inside the Magic actually has one. I'll congratulate them on that. We need to be nice. But anyway, it's the latest big platform to have the show available for streaming. In addition to the Chosen app, the Angel app, and BYU TV, you can watch the show on streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Now, how big of a deal is this? Well, let's take a look. This is out of churchleaders.com, not the typical place we would go to here on this channel, but the kind of place we go when we're trying to find out information about, well, a show such as this. And this by Stephanie Martin, it says, The Chosen viewership soars to 200 million thanks to streaming and international distribution. So this show is no small thing whatsoever. And this is why, Michelle, I say that Disney is putting themselves, well, number one, this has got to be a positive step in terms of trying to win back the middle and the right. But, and I don't know if that's possible, but another thing to say here is that Disney's putting themselves in quite the conundrum, because already the essentially conservative show Bluey, which espouses traditional views and is 1/3 of all their viewership. It's a cartoon dog, by the way, folks. Consider that a cartoon dog simply by espousing traditional values and having very high quality is 1/3 of all of Disney's streaming. Maybe it's more valuable than Marvel and Star Wars combined. I'm not sure. But now, Michelle, if they do this, you could see a 1-2 here. You could see Bluey and The Chosen driving massive percentage of viewership. And I think that puts Disney in an awkward position considering the positions that Disney takes. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely can drive viewership. I think that's why they got it. I would say, I don't know how well it did when it was on Netflix. I know they had the first season for a while, and you know how these things bounce around and people buy the rights. Yes, I mean, Disney being Disney, yes, it's like you said, they've already kind of upset, not kind of, they've already upset X amount of the audience. But at least that's one thing that is on their streaming platform for people who have kids who have it, that at least is a plus. So I view it as a good step for Disney. Now, Disney will shoot itself in the foot probably tomorrow, but this particular thing I think was a wise move.
Right now, the Chosen is technically on Hulu, right? That's what you found?
Yes, it's on Hulu.
But Hulu... Yes. Hulu is integrated into Disney Plus now in North America in a way that cannibalizes Hulu. And it makes one wonder, does this count for Hulu or does this count for Disney Plus? And I have a theory on that, Michelle. If they put this on Hulu, it makes me wonder, did they do that specifically because if it charts on Nielsen for them, they would rather it chart on Hulu and not chart on Disney Plus? Because if it charts on Disney Plus, then they get this situation they've had in the past where Bluey beats everything they have, and everything else they have barely makes the charts ever, if at all. So if you had Bluey and The Chosen, so Bluey and Jesus, appearing on the Nielsen charts for Disney and nothing else, you can see that would create some sort of, well, that would make some headlines. That would make some headlines for Bob Iger. Do you think, Michelle, that do you think there's still an audience for the show? It's only the first 3 seasons. So this is not the newest content. Do you think there's still an audience that hasn't seen this that maybe will tune in to Disney Plus or Hulu to find it?
I actually have never seen the show yet. I've heard good things about it. I just haven't taken the time to sit down and watch it. So I saw it advertised on Hulu, and it was like, well, maybe I'll hit play. So I may be in that category. As far as them picking Hulu, you very well are right on their reasoning, but I do think Hulu is a better platform for The Chosen. I mean, just the subject matter is going to lean. When I say adult, I just mean adults are going to gravitate to watch it more often than a younger.
It's not a cartoon.
Audience. Yes, it's not a cartoon. It's real life stories that yes, I think just appeal more to the Hulu audience. But yeah, I think there's definitely an audience for it.
So this is the other funny angle to this, and I don't know that many people are talking about it. The Chosen, of course, is coming to Disney Plus and Hulu via Angel Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Disney has already been embarrassed last year with Angel Studios because of the movie that they did, The Sound of Freedom. And that was a movie that Disney had sat on for a very long time. They were not intending to do anything with it. They finally allowed it to go into others' hands, and then it became this sensation last year. Do you take any kind of perspective that perhaps Disney looked at what happened with Sound of Freedom and said, that's not in line with what we necessarily believe as a corporation, but by golly, we like the money. And if that means having The Chosen on our streaming services, we like money and we'll do that. Do you think it's an attempt to try to win back the middle and the right?
It very well is, because they know they definitely have lost that, but I think it is smart financially. And in fact, thinking of this, doing this video, I was thinking of Disney has really made Angel Studios a lot of money.
Oh, that's true. Course, in both ways.
Yes, of course, selling them the rights to Sound of Freedom and allowing them to make all the money from that. And then also, I would say they had to pay a pretty penny to get The Chosen on their platform. I think it's a wise decision though by Disney, whether it's Hulu, whether it is Netflix, Amazon. There is absolutely a market for the Christian content coming out through the Angel Studio, and the Lionsgate has their own Christian movie section. And I just think it's wise for any of those big players in the streaming to purchase up the rights to it, because there is an audience for it. So I think it's wise regardless.
One of the interesting things about the Walt Disney Company and the direction they've gone is that they have fully embraced this new part of their company. And at the parks, they call it the inclusion key. And we've been covering that here on this channel. We've taken significant blowback, although it may not all be human, but Twitter rage is all the rage because we're covering newsworthy stuff about Disney and about that inclusion key. But on Disney Plus, one might suspect that we're going to see significant, what would we call significant celebration of the month of June. I think that's sufficient for people to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I've noticed is that Hulu, Hulu is ad-based. I have noticed that, well, at least it's funded in large part from ads. There are subscriptions too, I should clarify. But I have noticed that when I watch something on Hulu as part of my job to watch content and review it and all of that, many of the ads, maybe 1/3, I'm not sure exactly, but many of the ads are for Disney. And that's very interesting, because that's essentially Disney, maybe there aren't enough ads from other companies. But here's what I'm getting at, Michelle. We could see a situation where The Chosen is playing on Hulu, and we could see a situation in the very near future where there are some ads that could put Disney in an awkward place with the right and the middle that they're attempting to court, where you have The Chosen on and suddenly an ad pops up for, some of the Disney stuff. Disney did for example, a Pride celebration show last year that featured prominent individuals of We'll just say that they were dressed in an untraditional way. So, Michelle, do you think there's a tightrope to be walked here, or do you welcome that mixing of water and oil, that mixing of these various viewpoints on one platform? Is that okay?
I think they do have to walk a tightrope. If Disney had bought a show that someone made about Islam, do you think that would be an issue?
Oh, what an interesting point, because Miss Marvel very, very lightly touches on that. I just wonder, what would Disney do if those are very interesting questions. I'm intrigued by them. And folks, although we hold our own beliefs, Michelle has her beliefs and I have my beliefs. We're not here to impose those beliefs on you, and we're not suggesting that you must have, a belief. We're simply saying that we're aware of reality and we're aware of society and what the beliefs are, and we know that it could be quite the taboo, especially in the right in the middle, and it could actually sabotage Disney's efforts if they're running The Chosen with ads, doing this other stuff. That would I think send conservatives actually off of the platform even more. So it's something to think about for Disney. They have they've got to really watch how this plays out. But I think, Michelle, this is evidence that we are in a soft reset moment. I think Disney is trying to find. They can't survive off 1/3 of society. I'm sorry, they can't. Yeah. And that's what they've been trying to do. They've been placating and advocating for the viewpoints of 1/3, according to polling, of our society, and maybe less globally. That just can't work. That's not a winning game plan. So, Michelle, I'll give you the final word on this. What do you say to the folks out there who they think that Disney is just scum and they're never coming back? And what do you say to them about why you think Disney might be attempting this, and whether or not that means to give them a second chance?
Yeah, well, each person needs to decide whether they want to give them a second chance or not. I do have Hulu. I do quite enjoy Hulu, actually. So it just kind of to each their own. Again, it's like I said in the last video, as far as Disney, I try to give Disney as little money as possible. They own so much that you kind of have to pick and choose where you're going to cut them out on some things. But as far as Disney, for whatever reason, they chose to have The Chosen on Hulu. I think I view it as a net positive. I think that's a good thing to do. It's a show that's been very popular. It has quite a fan base, it seems, and I'm happy for that show to be on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon, whoever will have it. I just think that's a positive.
Well, I got to say, given the situation in the world today, I'll take more of that, please, because yes. I don't think that's teaching anybody to resegregate or to put others into hierarchies of importance, and that seems to be the force du jour. And so I've had enough of that. I like treating everybody with dignity and respect and kindness and wellness and hoping the best. Not saying that we agree with everybody's decisions or behaviors, but that we believe that everybody is infinitely worthy and valuable. And some of the things I see in the world today make me think that others have stopped agreeing there. So, positive note, folks, and Disney moving, perhaps, depending on your beliefs, in the right direction. But is it enough? I bet for many of you out there, it's not. But we will find out, and the only way we can find out is if you drop a comment down below. Drop a comment, let us know your thoughts, and share with us why you think Disney is doing this when Disney is so strongly, virulently, vociferously in favor of positions that don't align with any of the mainstream Christian thoughts. We would love to hear your thoughts. Also, make sure to check out Michelle and her sister on Force of Light. Michelle, what's coming up on the channel?
Yes, we will have our first time watching reaction. Believe it or not, people, I do feel like I have to hand in my woman card on this one. I had never seen Pretty Woman, so I rectified that. And our first time watching reaction of Pretty Woman will be out tomorrow at 11:30, or tomorrow, Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. So definitely check that out, and then we'll be reviewing the new Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling movie Fall Guy this Thursday. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Is the song stuck in your head?
Pretty Woman? Yeah.
Yes, it is now. All right, folks, and it's stuck in your head too. You're welcome. Like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell, drop a comment, and we will see you real soon as we continue fair analysis of entertainment in a way that other channels simply don't. Well, except for Force of Light. Go check them out. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing. And as always, keep having fun.
My brain is fried and I can't think of things to do to people, like Jonas or Culture. I mean, leaving them in this place of what's next is ideal and all, but other than going to an extreme that would rip them limb from limb or something, I got nothing. Jose, what do you think?
My name's Jose. We could reenact the Chosen with that Greg from Kocho Casino Royale.
That's weird. No, I said investigate.
Where were you keeping that?
You guys could do that. Or you could go to that part. Ow! Oh, my head. Why'd you do that, man? You guys are insane. Oh, I'm out of here.
Jose, I think deep down, we really understand each other. Or not. I know. I need one of those White House translators like for Joe Biden. That'll help me with him. Perfect. Well, maybe you can get them on eBay or something.